Here is a short video guide to show you how to set up the HOTS simulation program to allow participants to cycle the simulation by themselves. In this mode, users have the ability to have their own cycle button, which is usually only available to instructors. At the moment, you'll see I'm on the instructor page, and underneath the instructor icon here in the middle, we can see the grey cycle button. And this is normally the only place where we have the cycle button. And when we press this, that's what moves us forwards from either 1 week to the next or from 1 month to the next. If we want to set up the program to allow students to have their own individual access and move forward at their own pace, we can do that, and that's what I'm going to walk you through now. Now, this mode we call non-interactive mode in HOTS, and that means that the teams are competing individually against the computer model and not interactively against each other. In this non-interactive mode, students and the number of people who are competing within the program can still be seen on the scorecard. The scorecard is still viewable up to 24 teams. Anything over 24 and the scorecard stops being visible. Now, you can, of course, have multiple different sites, if you like, with 24 teams in each. If you've got any further questions on that or anything further you want to know about site access or numbers, then please do get in touch with us via our support email, which is support@russellpartnership.tech. Right, let me walk you through now how to set this up. So this is a fresh installation. This is a reset site, which has all been set up. So to this point, you do everything the same as you would do normally for the exercise that you want to do. Now, at this point, what we need to do is we need to set the simulation up to be appropriate for its single user access. Now, if we look under the cycle button here, we've got 9 different quick links to various different settings. Now, we need to go into one area here, and that is simulation definition, the second option here from this menu. I'm going to click into simulation definition. Now, by default, you'll see that this first option here is the simulation interactive. It's already set to no, so we're going to continue with that because we do not want this simulation to be interactive. We can next choose the number of teams we want to have. So let's say, for argument's sake, we're going to have 10 teams, so I'm going to say 10 here. You can always come back and change the number of teams later on once you know exactly how many you're going to have. So you can say what you think it's going to be now, and you can always come back and change that later on. Next up, you choose whether we want to move forward either weekly or monthly. I'm going to leave that set to monthly, as that's the default. Next, you've got the option of either automatic or manual. Now here we want to say manual. Automatic is only what we would select when we want to use the timer. And of course, we're not going to use the timer here because we want the participants to be able to move forwards at their own pace when they choose. Now is the key question. So here it says, are we going to move people forward together or are we going to move them forward separately? So because we want them to compete individually against the computer model, rather than the default, which is together, we here need to select separately. So the 2 key options here are that we need to say simulation interactive no, and then we need to say separately. Everything else can remain the same as you would normally have it, and other items on this page are discussed in other tutorial videos. Now that those 2 elements have been made, I'm going to click the orange Save and Exit button at the bottom of the screen. That's going to save what I've just done, and because I've added in 10 teams, it will take a few moments because at the moment it's creating those 10 teams, populating the simulation, getting all of that ready, and when it is ready, it's going to take us back to the home page, and then once we're back onto the home page, we'll be able to make our final change that we need to do. Right, that's now complete. We're now back onto the home page, but there's one more thing we need to do now before the program is ready to allow participants to have their own access to the program. Now what we need to do is we actually need to click on the cycle button. Now that we've made those changes, if we click on the cycle button, there's a hidden menu. So if I click cycle, you'll now see this screen. Now you may never have seen this screen before. As I said, you only get access to this screen once you've made those changes on the definition page. What we need to do here is we need to tick this box at the top which says allow processing by teams. What this means is that we're now going to allow the students or the participants to see that cycle button on their own screens. We need to tick that box, otherwise they will not see it. So this is a very important step. Once that's done, we need to go to the bottom of the page and click Save Setting. in the middle. Once we do that, it takes us back to the home page. Now, I'm just going to show you quickly into usernames and passwords. I've got two teams set up here as an example. So team 1 is set up with password 1. So I'm going to log off now and show you how this works from the student side. Once I log off, I go back to the home page. You can give your participants the access as normal. So team 1 has been given the password. I'm going to enter that password and I'm going to log in. Ask me for my name, just going to enter team 1 here and click OK. Tells me when I log in, I'm in control for this team. Everything else remains the same as it would do normally. And I was going to draw your attention over to the left-hand side of the screen. So if you look underneath the HOTS logo, it says team management. Then we've got decisions, which we normally have, market research, which we always have, read messages, which we always have. And now underneath, you'll see we also have a button which says cycle. This button is now live, and that allows our participants to choose when they move forwards. So as normal, they would go into decisions, they would make their changes, making sure to save all those changes. And then when they're ready, and it's always worth making a point here, you need to make sure you're ready before you press the button. Once you're ready, they can press the cycle button, which I'll do now. You only need to press that once. The page, as you can see now, is refreshing. So that is in process. If you look now at the top of the screen, that's only taken us a few seconds, but if you look up at the top of the screen, it says HOTS Online Team 1, and it says Year 1, February. So you'll see that's now processed 1 month. Now, when the students cycle themselves, nothing appears on the screen, so they need to really make sure, take care when doing this. Every time they press that button, it's going to move them forwards, so they need to make sure that they are ready before they move forwards. The program will only move them forwards when they press that button. There's no other reason why it would move forwards. No one else has access to do that for them. That is the only place that can happen. Okay, that's a short video guide telling you how to set up the HOT simulation program for single user access. We hope that goes very well with your next session. Do set up your site for that. And of course, if you need any help, as usual, please do get in touch with us and we'll be more than happy to help you. Okay, thank you and goodbye.